Welcome to the happenings, where we're going to talk about things that we like that happen, whether we like them.
Or not.
That's right. My name's Jessica, and I'm a photographer and writer in all things DIY.
And
You want to
I
introduce
am,
yourself?
oh, and I am Whitley, and I am a writer, among other things.
And all knowledger of all things healthy, of course, which
Yes.
I do have a tip today. So I will have a health tip, which should
Whoa.
not ever come from me, but it was interesting. I was watching a show and I have to share. So, anyway, what is the discussion we're going to be covering today?
We are going to be covering you and your origin story.
Oh my, that sounds so movie. Love it.
I know, I
Um,
know.
but I wanted to compliment you on your attire today. That
Oh,
is
thank you.
incredibly red, which you are not someone who typically brings out the colors. So talk to me about this ensemble piece that you've got going on.
Well, actually, it's a cape, and
Okay.
I am in a warm climate, and it's
Yeah.
not normally cold. It is actually cold today.
All
So
right.
this is one of the few times I've ever gotten to wear this and be comfortable.
Well, you know
So
what? You
it
look
is pulled
amazing.
out.
I love it.
Thank you.
I am,
So,
of course, wearing a comfort piece
uh-huh.
due to the fact it is cold and the weather where I'm at is insane at all times. Like, we do not have four seasons. We have what the hell. And that's basically what you say when you go outside. What the hell is going on? And I apologize if that is offensive to anyone who does not yell like the use of HE double hockey sticks. I
Yes.
apologize ahead of time. Okay, well, before we get started, you know what we have to do. We're going to
Oh,
have to spin
yes.
the wheel. Are you ready?
Okay. Okay.
It's stars.
Stars.
So the
Oh,
bottom one.
okay. Are
Yeah.
you ready? Are
I
you
am
ready?
ready. Go ahead.
Have seven samurais sworn to protect you, or 500 hamsters?
Okay, so this is a would you rather.
Yes.
Seven samurais
Sworn to
sworn to protect
protect,
me.
or 500 hamsters?
I'm all about those samurais, man. I mean, first of all, let's
This
just
is
talk about what
like,
they're going to have for dinner.
oh
I
my
love
God, I'm
Asian
going,
food.
how is this
uh, no, I
would
would
you rather?
you
I mean, it's
listen.
kind of,
I would love to walk down the street with my seven samurai, security team,
who
because
wouldn't?
one, there's the thing with a mask. They're going to be hot. They're like Asian Zorros. I'm in. I'm
I
100%
know,
in.
I know. That's
And
why
who's going to mess with me? I could actually go do good in this world with my seven samurai. I don't know. I try to think
exactly.
of the Willie Nelson song, seven Spanish angels, but instead of seven samurais, warriors in the
Oh,
valley
for
of the
sure.
sun. Anyway, okay, so yours is crossbones, which is curses. Are you
Oh,
ready?
yeah, this is going to be, yeah, mine's will be a challenge. Yours was easy.
Oh, it's a doozy.
But that's
Would you
okay. I'm going
rather?
to get even as soon as it's my turn.
All right. Would you rather not be able to? Sorry. Would you rather not be able to, never be able to use deodorant or use a fork? That's
Oh,
hard. Which one?
mm-hmm. Uh, am I going to offend all of those around me, or which make,
It it's on you. I mean, at some
well,
point you're
you
offended.
know, I do know how to use chopsticks, so we'll go with the fork.
Okay, you know what? As someone who's been close to you, I really appreciate your wanting to use something that is going to help when things go bad. So I appreciate you
I
keeping
figure
the deodorant.
that's a relationshipal thing right there.
All right, well, let's kick it off. What terrible questions do you have for me? And then before we end, remind me to tell you my one interesting health tip I learned today.
Oh,
Yes,
that should be good.
I
Okay.
know. It's an unusual place to find health, let me tell you. But go ahead, go ahead. What do we got?
First off, how did you get into how did you get into photography?
Okay. Well, my mom, when I was, so I'm a mom. And when I was way younger than I currently am now, and I really don't want to go into years and decades, but I'm pretty sure it's been double digit years ago. Uh, my we were living in Ohio with my mother while well wait, no, it's even before that. Sorry. That was a different story, and it's a therapy session that we don't need to go into. Actually, my husband was going to deploy. We had four children, they were young, and I'm a really creative person. I have always been involved in theater. I love acting. That's my first love, the thing that I have always done. And when you have children, uh, there are people like myself that will kind of put those things on the back burner so that we can take care of the most important things. And then when you're married to someone who's in the military and you have their work comes first, whether you like it or not, having the ability to do things like that is it's a luxury. So my mom bought me this very cheap camera. And I don't mean that as an insult. It just wasn't like, I buy cameras now and they're thousands and thousands of dollars. This was just something you could get from Walmart, a point and shoot, it didn't even have a lens cap. It's one of those like Instamatics that like it closes up in a grid and then opens up and then closes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started taking pictures of my kids. And so I would tell you that I'm a self trained photographer. I'm a student always. I would not call myself, I'm not to where I want to be at as far as like I'm the best that there ever has been. But I continually learn and I look at that storytelling as my go-to. But that's how I got into it, was taking pictures of my kids to send to my husband, and I just had so much fun. It was such a creative thing to do. I wasn't editing at the time. So this really was, I have to get it right in camera, but who can't with a point and shoot, right? But I
uh,
had so much fun to the point I wore this camera out. I had to duct tape the battery open and then duct tape the lens to stay open because I just overused it. I became a complete tourist. So that's how my journey began.
well, I already have to disagree with you on one
Okay.
aspects is that
Okay.
you may be self-taught and you may have it, but you are one of the best photographers I
Well,
have ever seen. And she's very true about the story part because
mm,
her pictures tell a story. And so she has learned to perfect that. And I think they're absolutely wonderful. So it doesn't matter whether you've been trained by someone else or you've learned to yourself, you've got an excellent eye and take great
well, thank
photography.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
What is your favorite type of picture to take?
Oh, see, you know what? This comes into something that when you learn, well, I apologize. I'm in between moments of time in my life right now as you're asking this question. Being self-taught, when you start hanging around people that have gone to school for it and
Mhm.
are part of the PPA and other things, you realize how small you really are. And one of the things they would tell you is you need to find a niche that you do because you really can't do all photography. And they're
Mhm.
not wrong with that. Everybody has a specialty. For some, it's newborns. For others, it's weddings. For some, it's landscape. For some, it's sports. For some, it's animals. The way you, I would say, and this is my personal opinion, not so. If you have a different one, that's completely fine. In my personal opinion, it's very rare that you're going to have someone who can shoot the whole gambit and do really well at it because you can look at their pictures and kind of tell where their specialties lie. Now, it, you know, you're going to ask that, and then I'm going to tell you three because
Okay.
I usually do weddings,
Hmm.
seniors, and families. Those are my favorite three. I will do a newborn every now and again. Just because I have friends that have babies and they're like, would you mind taking this? And so for them, I will. But typically, that is not my specialty. It's something that's I mean, newborn babies are the sweetest. I love them so much, but I want things to be perfect. And that's just not where I love it, but it's not my favorite.
Mhm.
So for I love weddings because it's a roller coaster ride. It's literally like taking off, not wearing a seatbelt because, well, don't actually wear a seatbelt, but you know what I'm saying? Being wild and crazy. And every wedding is different, and there will be something that always goes wrong. And it's the one type of shooting that you can be prepared, but you have to be over prepared for everything because you can't determine. There's nothing like problems will arise, and you've just got to be able to fix it and move on and do it very, very quickly because this is an unforgettable day that you
Right.
can't get back. It's not something you can reschedule. So, as far as the type that is the most nerve wracking and exhilarating in the sense of that, weddings. I love weddings.
Oh.
Seniors,
Mhm.
seniors are so fun. And I love them too because typically they are just such unique people, very free and very open. I love when they just kind of are able to be themselves around me because
Uh-huh.
I feel very honored that, we don't have to do pretenses or walls. We can just, because my goal, I hope, is not just to showcase the side you want everyone to see, but the real you that your family knows, the real you that who, of course, I'll take all the pictures and you get to
Mhm.
decide for yourself which is your favorite. But what I'm hoping for is to get to see you. And then
Right.
families, of course, because I belong to a big family and families are precious and I love how they connect and sometimes you'll have drama, of course, but for the most part, I think they're so sweet. So I don't know if that was good or not as far as rounding it down, but that's why I specialize in those three things.
Oh, no, and I think that's good because what I see is you are able to bring a person's personality out, and you can see
Yes.
it, and I think that's one reason why I feel like your pictures show a story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now here's one. What don't you
Okay.
like? Okay,
Ooh.
what are your pet peeves about new photographers?
Well, you have to keep in mind it's kind of like puppies in the sense of and I don't
Yes.
mean I hope that's not insulting to say, but I just got a puppy and I think of my older dog Barkley, who is a Chihuahua, who is my man chop, and he's somewhat annoyed by
Mhm.
the new puppy who's got to try their teeth into everything and they just don't know. I think of it like that. One thing I notice as far as some, not all, just some, they want everything handed to them, which means that
Mm.
they will ask everybody about locations, but they won't go look at them themselves to determine. Like they'll wait. Literally, you'll get I'm part of these photography groups, and you'll have a photographer who's, I mean, 12 o'clock at night asking about a location the next day. She's not even scoped out yet, wanting a pin ping so she can go there and take a family that's never been there to that location, which I personally think is irresponsible. I don't want to. Yes, it's good to get advice on where to shoot, but I like to go personally because I want to know what it's like for my client to get there. So I like to go places I've been that I'm familiar with. So if there are issues such as, hey, this is a dirt road. So if you have a family member that's got some difficulties, maybe this isn't the right spot for you. Like I personally know every place I want to go. So one of my pet peeves is that they're not prepared. They ask for everything, but they don't research. I mean, and I'm not talking about all, just
Mhm.
there's some that literally are just like, it's my first wedding. What do I shoot with? And you're just like, I feel bad for your bride right now. That's not the question you should be asking. What you should
Mhm.
have done is go work with another photographer to second shoot with them so you could get all those questions answered and you could figure out how a wedding runs. A lot of times, and it's just because, and I understand, I mean, I was doing the very same thing. So it's not like I am not guilty, with the exception of I would I would find my own spots and spaces because I could see something that looked beautiful to me that I thought would really look good in a picture. And that's how I found my spots, not because I was copying and pasting and not doing any of the legwork myself. So I think my pet peeve is that they seem to like the easy button versus hard work. And I feel like you need to put some sweat in the game and not depend so much on everybody else to give you their opinions. You need to start doing the work so you can have some opinions of your own.
Right.
So that's one.
Yeah. So what would you is there any other advice that you would give for someone who's just
Um,
starting out besides the location scouting and of course
yes.
being a
Well,
second shooter?
I do
That's good.
think, yeah, I think if you're going to shoot, for example, if you're going to do newborns, now I told you that I
Mm-hmm.
every now and do newborns. Well, I don't handle newborns. I have a friend who specializes in that. I shoot the picture, but she puts the baby in all the positions. So that way, because she's been specially trained. So, for example, if you were going to be a newborn photographer and that
Mm-hmm.
was your calling, then you need to go get trained in that because that's somebody's little baby. That's their life. And I would, I, I would say that even for a client, make sure they're trained because you don't want to have something happen
Right.
for a picture. That's nothing's worth that. So that's one of the things that I offer. Now, the person that helps me, she also that's her specialty is doing newborn photos. So if the person that's asking me is not a personal friend and they don't really care, then I'll pitch her the job because that's her specialty. But I'd say figure out what you like shooting
Mm-hmm.
and then go be around people who also do that, not to necessarily become them. You don't need to be the second coming of them, but just to kind of, try things out new and, learn off them. I
Right.
still learn off photographers. I have a second shooter. I've had several second shooters who are amazing. And they bring a fresh perspective when we do jobs together, and even though they're my second shooter, sometimes they're doing something so cool and I'm like, I want to learn that. So I would tell you, learn what you want as far as you should get off YouTube and go to a person who you could be around to kind of, because YouTube is good, but YouTube is not like being in person and being able to
Right.
ask and getting hands on, right now answering questions, and then also being on, I would say on set. This is the actor side of me, but being able to go
Yes.
on a shoot and see how it runs.
Right.
Because the thing is, when you're looking at clients, they've come through a gambit before they even get to you. I have a number of clients, especially the husbands, who absolutely hate pictures. And do you want to know why that is? It's because who they went to before it was so off-putting. It feels like they're giving away their lives to do this.
Right.
My goal is to make it a fun, enjoyable experience that they don't feel like they had to work at. You know what I'm saying? And because they're working sometimes with these photographers who are not people friendly, maybe, or they don't know what they're doing, it really sets a tone bad in their mouth about what it's like, because they've had this really bad experience. So I would say for new photographers, um, there's nothing wrong with being new and there's nothing wrong with learning stuff on your own. There's nothing wrong with YouTube, but if you want to truly become better at what you're doing, then go be around people that you like their work and shadow them, learn, be able to ask the questions that they can, ask them great questions and they can help you out for sure.
Yeah, that's really good. The mentor process used to be the way we did learn how to do things,
Yeah.
hands-on, first place.
Yeah.
Uh, and something like photography, acting, other things
Mm-hmm.
like that, really, and nothing beats one-on-one and learning how to do
No,
it in person. I mean, yeah, nothing does.
100%.
Okay, what is your dream shot that you have
Uh,
not done?
okay. So, that is a great question. First of all, I would tell you I like to do styled shoots.
Mhm.
Now, what a styled shoot is where everything is controlled. Okay, so you are able to pick the people. You are able to pick the outfits. You're able to pick the location. You're able to pick other vendors that work with you, and everything's contained. So those kind of days are not like your typical roller coaster days where you can't plan. Like when something's going wrong easily way beforehand. And really, I would tell you the only thing wrong with bad styled shoots is the failure to plan because they're heavily planned out. But I love, like, I don't know, I would love to go and do adventuresome styled shoots. Like there
Oh,
is a place up in Utah that is their ice, I think they're called ice caves and it's blue.
uh-huh,
It looks amazing. There's another place called Antelope Canyon. I think it's out in Arizona. And I don't know if they call it the wave, but
uh-huh.
there's striations in the canyon walls that curve like antelope horns,
Hmm.
and they're just beautiful. And so I would love, like, I like on location shooting. I think it's so
Hmm.
fun. So I don't know if I just have one dream because I think I always dream. I have
Yes,
continual. So
I would agree with
it's just
that.
a matter of, yeah. So if I find the right reason, for example, there is a shoot I'm considering doing. It's actually a remarriage shoot. So that's something you don't typically see.
Hmm.
And I have the theme picked out. As a matter of fact, this is themed after a song I heard that I loved. So I'm reinterpreting it into a shoot with people. And then I'm working with several other artists and vendors to kind of help realize it. Now, the only thing left is to find the location, which I have a couple in mind, but then also kind of coming down to when are we going to do this? Because right now our weather, as I told you, my weather is what the hell, and you just don't know. Even up until April, you do not know what kind of weather you're having because
Right.
what normal is, I don't know when normal is going to come back again because our weather's just so crazy. So anyway, I mean, you probably think, oh my gosh, where do you live? I just live in a place that gets a lot of jet streams. So it's either coming over Colorado or coming up from Texas. So we
Yes,
get it both
yes.
ways. It's never coming back from Nebraska. Did you notice that? Like weather
Yes,
never comes
yes.
from like Virginia here. It never
Mhm.
does.
Nope.
It's always coming around from someplace else. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's right to left. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yes.
I feel like, what would happen if it went the other way? Be nice.
Well, she lives in the dumping ground of weather. That
I
is,
do.
yeah,
It
yeah,
where we get
whatever's
the hot,
coming.
we're 10 degrees hotter. Well, no, I'd say where you're at is 10 degrees hotter
Uh-huh.
typically, but that doesn't mean we're not going to get hotter than you. I
That's
definitely think
right.
we can. We're going to get more tornadoes than you.
Hmm.
We're going to get more freezes. Like
Yes, definitely.
there's, I would call this weather violently bad for people who have allergies and want 70 degrees year round. Like this is not where you retire. This is where you survive. So
Yes. Exactly, exactly.
hence the
Now,
sweater.
now for your question or what you want to tell us about your healthy
Oh,
suggestion.
yes. Okay, well, I actually want to promote two things, but today I was listening. I forget who it was, but she was talking about that she took fermented cod liver oil tablets. And do you know what happened?
What?
Now, okay, so let me just say, I want to clarify. I have not taken whatever what I would have said. It was
Fermented
fermented
cast
cod liver tablets.
cod liver.
No, but she gives herself and these to her children. Now, am I saying for you to do it? No, I'm not. I'm not saying it. I can't clarify that nothing's going to go wrong, but I'm just saying it's interesting. So these cod liver oil situations, she said she had a lot of cavities and a lot of dental issues.
Uh-huh.
She takes the fermented cod liver oil, and her dentist was like, a whole new mouth, new gums that I can't believe. I mean, sorry, I'm in a musical state today. That's not even my good singing voice, but still, don't make me sing. No, the supposedly the cod liver oil helped strengthen her gums and reinforce her teeth. So
Okay.
it's definitely something I'm going to consider if I don't. She was saying, yeah, I take like a tablespoon or something of it every day. And I'm thinking, you are a
Oh.
tormented woman. Like that's like taking vinegar. That's like
Yeah,
it's so
fermented.
natural. I can't do it. I mean, I need something that's a melt away, like a piece of tape
Right.
melt away. But it's something I'm going to consider because I do run into that problem of fragile teeth. And it would be great if I could take something that kind of strengthened them and I could go to my dentist and be like, look at this grill I've got going on right here. And when he's like, was it my special toothpaste? I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was fermented
Vented.
crap I'm putting in my face. So,
Oh, I
okay,
know. That sounds so delicious. I mean,
I mean, it
really,
sounds,
really.
I mean,
Oh my
maybe we
goodness.
could find a way to package that, make it more delicious, but I was just going to say it. Okay. So the second thing, now this was a health thing, which I know comes from me. It shouldn't,
Mhm.
because obviously I'm not the bastion of health, but when I find it interesting, I love it. So the second thing I wanted to say, because I'm in survival mode, and you're in some bomb shelter somewhere. No, I'm kidding. You're not. Um, but if you want to follow
Shh.
a really good weather person, I love this guy. Follow him on YouTube. His channel is called Max Velocity, and he covers all the weather. And I like how he does it, because he's serious. He gets on there, is like, and you wouldn't believe, and this is going to happen. It's going to be freezing and frozen 1 to 3 inches. I mean, I just feel smarter when I watch him. I feel I want to be a weatherman too. I do. Maybe that'll be our dream for me, is
Okay.
one day do a weather forecast for everybody for wherever they're at. Just let me have a
Oh,
chance. So
just you're going to be knowing that. Uh, uh, oh, I think our next session is going to be very interesting for you.
oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Well, Whitley, it was wonderful. I hope I inspired. I mean, I don't want to make people not want to get into photography, because if you feel like you want to share your art or story, it's a great way to do it. I mean, there's definitely, you don't even have to do it for people to pay you. Just do it because you love it. When I started, it was never about becoming someone who got paid to do it. It was because I loved my kids, and I just wanted to make sure my husband could see them, because we didn't know when they get deployed, you don't know if they're coming back.
Right.
That could
Exactly.
so my focus wasn't so much on, you know, what is it? Composition or lighting. It was just capturing cute faces, silly moments, and sending him to them, and
Mhm.
just letting him know, like, we care. And so
Right.
that same kind of thing is still in my photography, because I literally do love all my clients. I have great clients, and when whether we're at a family event, or we're at a wedding,
Mhm.
whether it's your senior, like, it's very relaxed, and just, I'm there for you. So that's kind of the vibe that I think I try to put off,
And
at
you
least. And
do.
I
You
hope
do.
just to make them comfortable, and just feel like I'm one of you, the hopefully non-toxic part of the family. The Aunt Jess we all like. So, but anyway, but I don't want to ever discourage someone and say, well, because there's so many ways you can do things.
Mhm.
It's good to learn. Is If you want to go through school, I highly suggest it. You learn all the engineering of your camera and shots and all that. If I learned that,
Mhm.
I'm sure I would do better, but I think it would have overwhelmed me. I'm not
Academic.
no, I just go at it a different way. And I know there's others
Yes.
that do too, but yeah. So I'm hoping that as they leave, as you leave, if that's something that you'd like to do, don't be afraid to go buy a point and shoot, and start making some art.
Oh, I think that's really good advice because I think the key thing is you love what you do
I
and
do.
it shows. It is so obvious to anyone who sees your work, and I think that's a key thing. It's about um your creativity and your love
Hmm.
comes through your work. You cannot learn that from a book or learning how your camera works. That comes from in here. So I think that is one of the most important things. So I
Well,
think it's
thank
been
you.
very good advice.
Well,
So,
awesome. Well, thank you so much. I had fun. It was not nearly the grilling I was expecting. So,
oh, just wait.
well,
I'm going
awesome.
to start out easy on you and then we will
Ah,
go. Yeah, yeah, then we will see.
well, cool
So,
beans.
okay. Okay. I
Bye.
like the bye. Although I do like the fist and the boom from the
Or I can do the finger high fives. Hold the phone, please. Hold the phone. I
okay.
got these too.